Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It is 7:37 on O'Connor and Company as we were charging through this very busy news cycle. Coming up at 8:05, he's the sheriff of Frederick County, Chuck Jenkins, and we'll get his expert opinion on Muriel Bowser's desire to eliminate sanctuary city language from the Council of Law. I'm sorry, I just can't say it with a straight face because no one believes her, Julie Gunlock. But
I know.
We'll see what happens there. That's all coming up. But first, you've been hearing him on a regular basis in the afternoons as WMAL has been moving to fill the 3 to 6 slot, recently vacated by Vince Colonnese as he's moved to the noon to 3 slot, and now it was made official yesterday, our new colleague, Julie, so now we got to be nicer to him. Apparently, we can't just treat him like a scrub.
Bummer.
He is, of course, host of the new Derek Hunter Show every day here on WMAL, the one and only Derek Hunter. Derek, congratulations.
Larry, I am supposed to refer to you as an elder statesman of the station, so I have to be respectful. Yes,
no, that's Chris
sir,
Plant.
It is nice, lovely to be here. No. Chris is a contract that makes him 20 years younger than he is.
It's fair to say.
You need a better agent.
Oh, now leave her out of this. Derek, this is great. I mean, God, by the way, we've known each other since Andrew Breitbart days, 2000.
It had to be 2008, 2009, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Sitting in Shelley's back room, smoking cigars with
Schlichter
with Mike
Flynn.
and Mike Flynn. God, I miss Mike Flynn. And Andrew
and
every time he came to town.
I started streaming a online show back then, and you would come on like after midnight. You're kind of a night owl, so this afternoon drive thing is going to fit in for you. And you, of course, you know Maryland and Virginia politics and D.C. politics, and you've worked on Capitol Hill. Yeah, it's a perfect fit, and we're very excited for you. Are you what are you going to bring to the table here, though? Because you got big shoes to fill.
Aside from my charm and good looks, nothing. Nothing. That's the plan. No, the plan is to hire a good producer like you have that makes me look good. So until then, I just got to kind of fumble my way through.
Julie,
I can hear her ego growing in the next room over there.
Yes, our producer is
so hard to live with today.
It's weird that our afternoon guy is sleeping with our producer.
Okay, they're married.
The only way to get ahead in radio, it really truly is. You know, Larry. You know.
Yes, I know very well. Yeah.
You married your producer too.
Oh boy.
True. It's a long
Derek,
story.
you have such an interesting year. We have been talking about the defunding of PBS and NPR, and I keep saying how, I've been in this town for 30 plus years, and they were talking about it back then, and so sort of aging myself this morning. But man, you've been around for just as long, and I mean, I look at your resume here. There's a write-up here. I mean, you were recruited by Tucker Carlson to help launch the Daily Caller. You did work on Capitol Hill. You work for ATR. Does that, that must fuel some of your knowledge of the city and of policy.
Well, it keeps you insane, if nothing else. Now, I graduated college in December of 2000, went to the Heritage Foundation in the bookstore in 2021. While working at various jobs, I eventually met Tucker Carlson at a party. And I remember I was the first person hired at the Daily Caller before there was even a website, before they just had this vague idea. And he asked me to go to breakfast at a random email, and I thought, that's weird. Tucker must want to be my friend. And I walked out of there going, that felt an awful lot like a job interview. And it was a job interview, and they hired me, and we helped build the Daily Caller. I will say, I think my greatest contribution, aside from bringing a bunch of people into the Daily Caller, was that they wanted to name it the Northwest Corner. And I managed to talk them out of it. And they were like, "Well, it's in Northwest. And nobody knows what that is. And there's National Review's The Corner. It'll sound like that." And so we talked them out of that. We were then going to be called News Q, like in the queue. And so I bought the URL, and it was going to be news and then just Q. We were all set to go. And then it turns out that a gay group in Wisconsin owned the copyright on that. They were going to be News Q. And so it was like, well, we had the domain, they had the copyright, and we just sold them the domain. And then they ended up with the Daily Caller, and the rest is history. I think it worked out all right for them.
Yeah.
How long did you work for the gay site in Wisconsin, though? I forgot that part of you.
I still do consulting on
good,
the side.
good.
So
That's
yeah,
really
no,
you
no.
got
Why?
to stay on top
They
of
have
that.
sent out feelers about you, Larry. We'll talk offline.
Yeah, sure.
Feelers.
Oh, that's hard to miss.
Nice.
Hey, by the way, it should be noted, Julie Gunlock, what state did you graduate college from? Where are you from originally there, Derek?
Illinois.
I am from
Oh, I thought you were
Detroit,
asking me. I'm such an idiot.
Detroit, Michigan, and I went to
Yes.
Wayne State University.
There you go. And my brother went to Wayne State, and so Derek and I are both Michiganders, as it were.
Oh, great.
And
I
Chris
recently
Plantis of
drove through your
Michigan.
town of birth. And sent you a picture of the city sign.
Yeah, that's right, Plymouth, Michigan. This is very exciting, Derek. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for your whole family, actually, and also I'm thrilled. Listen, for those of you who haven't checked out Derek Hunter, do so today, 3 to 6. It's a big day because the precision package is going up. He'll be on that. But what I love about Derek's show is something that we try to instill in this show as well, is that you talk about things other than DC politics and other than politics in general. You love talking about movies. You love talking about music.
Yeah.
You love talking about there's more to life than just who's voting for what today on Capitol Hill, and that makes your show very engaging, Derek.
Have you seen the story out of WGN where they're talking about Taco Bell finally making its way to my beloved Ireland, and they're very concerned that the pipes in the sewer system not be able to handle a combination of late night Guinness and Taco Bell?
I have seen that story.
Man,
It's
good.
It's a national crisis.
it truly is. I think there's a collection plate we can pass for that one.
I'll do it. Yes, a special collection after
Aye.
the standard one. Derek Hunter, congrats.
Thank you, Larry and Julie. It's always a pleasure. I never
We're very
co-hosted with
excited.
Larry, but I have with Julie.
It was
And
While
I'm
fun.
Larry
It
is
was
off
fun.
doing gallivanting, doing Larry
Yes,
things. It's
on a
always been fun.
cruise.
It's very rare that we're on the air together, actually, Derek. That's true. I hadn't thought of that.
Well,
Going
there
all the
are
way back to
certain
the
laws
Breitbart
in place
days.
of decency and things of that nature that forbid it.
Don't forget, I know that our program director, Bill Hess, has already sort of, given you the rundown on what your responsibilities are and what you got to do. You know this, you're a pro, but the most important job is to keep the morning drive audience listening on WMAL
That's right.
through the afternoon so that when they get home, they still have the radio station on WMAL, right?
There you go. That's it. That's it exactly.
so
You've
when they
read my
wake up-
contract.
There
You've
you
read
go.
my contract.
Drive in with us, drive home with Derek, and just
Yeah, and
break
also
the
don't
dial.
and don't steal our producer.
That literally
I wouldn't
goes
wanna
without
work
saying.
with her. She's too bossy. I don't want any. No, thank you.
It would be a Joe and Mika situation there. You don't want that. Thank you, Derek. Congrats. It's 7:44.